never see any Jewish orphanages.
You don't see them now. They used to be tons of them. What are you talking about? They used to in the beginning of New York? No. So when New York first started, that's most of the kids that were in foster care were Jewish kids in the beginning. You know how long. Look at the first century. Look at the 1900s in New York City. You'll see that as a large portion of kids that were in those orphanages, mostly Jewish.
Because I don't see Muslim orphanages either. But you always see like these like Christian orphanages.
I'll tell you one thing you don't see.
I've never seen an orphanage in my life.
I'll tell you one thing you don't see in the United States is children starving to death.
It happens. Maybe we don't see it, but they say that like a lot of people are starving here.
The only time children starve to death is from neglect. And usually if a child did starve to death, someone's going to jail. So we don't really see that in America. We see that though in
we just do it to children.
Let me not say what countries we see this in.
We just do it to children in other countries.
Let me not say what country we see that happening in, but I'll just keep my mouth shut.
It might be the place where they have Judaism as their fastest growing religion. I'm not gonna say what region of the world, but Judaism, that same place, Judaism is growing. And when Judaism is growing, it's not seeing the same issue.
Is it growing by birth or some other way? Like, how would it be growing at, like...
Conversion.
Where?
Fine. In the Middle East.
Oh.
Judaism is fastest growing religion in the Middle East.
Do we trust these people that are converted?
Well, the results speak for themselves.
How do you make a daft statement like that? Judaism is the most growing religion in the world. The exclusivity that it has, the freaking... It's so hard. We have to study for it. Rabbi, how you that child?
It's really not hard at all. It's just like a lifestyle. Like if you were to live in...
Convert, right? In the sense...
I'm saying like Nargis, if you grew up in like an Iranian place, right, where there were a bunch of Iranians living their Iranian life in Iran, acting like Iranians, you'd say like, okay, this...
the lifestyle I'm talking about.
Right, that lifestyle would be different than if you were there. Right, those would be different styles. If you were around...
It's hard to be a Jew.
I'm saying, Nargis...
Convert into it.
Yeah, no. I'm saying it isn't. I'm saying if you just lived in Israel amongst Jews being Jewy, you would find it unbelievably easy to be Jewish.
No, I mean...
The only thing that makes it difficult to be Jewish is being surrounded by non-Jewish states.
I think he's making sense. That's probably true.
Yeah, you have a bro, like most religions, at least the two Abrahamics, freaking hop skip and jump. With Islam, you say the Shahada. With Christianity, you just dip in water.
Yeah, it's because you guys are sluts.
Maybe when you commit, I'm saying it's a good thing. Good Lord, so be defensive. It's a good thing because you know what you get to.
We are a monogamous people.
Monogamy is overrated.
Says the slut.
It's not that I'm Christian because I went to a priest went to a priest and I asked him to baptize me. It's not that easy, you know.
And that is what I appreciate the Lord. Because it allows you to see the concepts clearly. Like that is how it should be for I think every freaking school of thought. People should spend time in it and know of it. In fact, that is one of the positives that like most of these rooms talk about when they talk about like conversion to Judaism. It allows you to like go through the study process.
Ew, Narcos, put the picture away.
Oh God. Why? I love her.
She's a
That's
bad.
That's my Twitter.
Yeah, you're saying because you want to be different and like her fault that she's ugly.
Why, Ran? I'm Ran. Bro, I love her.
No, not
It's
you.
her
I'm talking to
nose,
Danny.
and it's like her mouth.
When did we go from? We went from
Pretty
theology.
funny.
Ayn Rand's a
If your
demon.
hair like Ayn Rand for like perm or Halloween, that'd be funny.
It's such a Nazi haircut.
How dare you? What's talking about Ira?
We went from theology to females trauma.
Dude, Ayn Rand is hilarious.
She's lovely. You haven't understood
No,
her.
she's demonic.
The reason I became an architect was because of Ira. And I read The Fountainhead.
Oh, I read Atlas Shrugged.
And Atlas Shrugged. And Envy the Living and The Virtue of Selfishness. There's lovely. Oh, lovely.
I used to like her when I was a teenager, but then I grew up. I'm joking.
Yeah,
I heard a lot of people outgrow her.
Yeah, I am so.
What are you saying, Dad?
I said I heard a lot of people said that they outgrew her.
I definitely outgrew her. She like, and then she does sounds like, you know, when you read it first, you think, oh yeah, and then you think about it more. It's like, she's actually fucking retarded.
No, you're actually fucking retarded. And you know, when you call her demonic, is that a projection, Abby? Because I would say that there are times that I could say that you're possibly a little bit demonic, Abby. And Narja's, I gotta tell you, there's no clubhouse rooms going on ever about Jewish conversion. Just to correct that in your mind, there are no Jewish conversion clubhouse rooms. Thank you very little.
Clubhouse room, what are you talking about?
No, that's your demonic projection. And Abby, just go read a book. Hello?
I did. I read the book and I come to a conclusion that Ayn Rand is demonic. What do you want me to do?
I don't know, maybe try to read a book instead of talking. That would be a good first place to start. Because you are actually, also have the DSM right here. And unfortunately, Abby, you've been labeled as a highly annoying person. A dangerously annoying person. And possibly an extremely annoying person. An EAP, a DAP, and an HAP.
I know, the most annoying person. How about that? Think about that.
So you're a map, most annoying person. See that is exactly what a map would do. You would claim to be the number one most annoying person.
Yes, I am.
Oy vey.
Oh my gosh, are you being anti-Semitic? I'm gonna call ADL.
You called her a map, MAP?
Most annoying person, yeah.
I have no idea what it is, but whatever.
Oh, that's not good.
I also got another interesting book here called Questions to a Muslim, an exposition of Islam. Kind of amazing that God, so Allah, it says here, there is no God but the God, and Muhammad is his messenger. The article the in Arabic is al, A-L. The Arabic and Semitic word for God is ilah. The God in Arabic will be Allah, pronounced Allah, or Allah, which is simply God with a capital G. I'm just kind of amazed that, like, everyone accepts Islam, and it came out of Arabic, meaning God decided to reveal his true message to the messenger in Arabic. And you would think that, you know, with so many Muslims around, that they would absolutely say, well, we have to learn Arabic because the whole thing was revealed in Arabic, obviously, right? So how can we do this in Filipino or say German? You know, wouldn't you have to go to the source and go into the language, you know, to be a true Muslim? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I love Sanskrit. When I was studying the Vedas, I had a teacher who would come and teach me. I didn't have to learn it. It wasn't my religion. It always makes you study the words in depth. Not that it made any difference in my life. Sadly, still a heathen. Like reading the Torah in Hebrew is far more like if you ask Caleb or McDad, they'll tell you that it does go to the root words and you study the scripture in greater depth than not. What kind of argument is this, man, John?
Well, I'm being very critical of Islam nowadays. Ever since I learned about the Constitution of Islam written by Muhammad in Medina in the year 660, I've gotten a really bad taste for Islam. And if you've never read it, you should realize just how bad of a deal it was. It's basically a document on how to start a mafia organization to intimidate for blood money, give no justice. Oops, we killed your dad. Here's some money. Shut the fuck up. That's basically what the Constitution of Medina says.
Yeah, Islamophobe. Like, you don't have to like put down someone's religion. Just
No, you see, it's not a religion. It's actually a fraud by Muhammad. It's a scam perpetrated by a murderer. Okay? It's not an actual religion. And thus, that's why it's all in Arabic, because it came out of one sick guy's mafia organization known as Muhammad. Hello? It's not a religion. Again, it's the cult of Muhammad. Hello?
like Muslims argue in one part, like they try to tell about Islam. They don't want to. They think that it's so excuses. Hello?
What is the excellent the Muslim?
Oh my god.
I love cooking.
I mean, a lot of people.
Thanks a lot.
For what? Yeah, in Persia.
So why would it be in
I
the Arabs?
have a judge who's Jewish in Iran. Because you guys apparently being the best judges and money men.
Those are stereotypes. You're thinking about our best judges and money men.
Money men.
I think they took this framework of what was being done in Persia, and I think they added that to their understanding of how they should run the Sahaba.
Yeah, but that's his trend. Like we have no evidence to show that. But let's just say that. But you can make the argument that Persia did contribute a lot to Islam and all else, right? In the Islamic world. Let's start with the language of Arabic to begin with. We give you a script. Sit down. Sit down, you're not a driver, you're a dog.
John, when are you gonna create your own SeaWorld? We need the John SeaWorld.
Abby with
Hello?
it was so disturbing. Abby,
Yeah, I know, yeah.
years, bro. That chick was training him. Freaking one day, like SeaWorld is maybe like 20 minutes, maybe more actually. 5 minutes away from where I live. Freaking, which years of training.
Oh, you're in San Diego.
I am in San Diego.
Oh, nice. I love San Diego.
Okay, it's working, bro.
What? I love it. The people are so friendly.
Lived here for so long.
You pick a good
I
place.
just forget. I think I went to the zoo, but I don't remember really being there too much.
I mean, Chula Vista is not a zoo, Danny.
What?
Chula Vista is not a zoo.
This is way down south.
San Diego's known for their zoo with their tigers.
It is. San Diego is known for the best zoo in the world, actually. It is.
Don't you have the best SeaWorld as well?
Yeah, SeaWorld also. But this zoo, the wild animal park, that she's right about. Not like the tourist, but it's by what do you call that? Escondido, up Escondido.
Oh, damn it. I should have gone when
I
I was
have a
there.
master boat.
Hello,
If you guys come, let me know.
I was at the convention center.
Yeah. I work very close to that on 6th.
Oh, really? It's downtown.
That time, yeah.
I want to get tested for autism.
Me too.
What happened?
I'm getting my results next month.
No, like I'm kind of upset about it because it was like my mom's boyfriend that was the
Oh
doctor,
my god.
and I felt like it was a conflict of interest.
That's not allowed, actually.
And people were telling me, I don't think it's allowed. Okay, and people were like, that's not a conflict of interest. I'm like, yeah, it is. Like I was like,
I think we should get a new doctor.
I was like that. He's a lawyer. He left. It could be conflict of interest. Unless. No, it is. Story is it.
if I ever talk to my dad again, I'll ask him. You know, he's the therapist. But I think it's wrong. Like
Wait, your dad is your therapist?
my dad would
That's why
never
she's so
be my
fucked up.
therapist because it's a conflict of interest. So no, that doesn't happen. And that's why I think this is kind of like not okay. You know. But I was like 12 years old, you know. So my mom took me like to California so her boyfriend could do testing on me.
Why do you think of autism? You don't. What makes you think that? Abby, when are you getting your results?
Next month.
At least, do you know? It's cool. I guess it's a fashion fad to be autistic.
Oh my god, I don't think I am autistic, but let's see.
Oh, really?
I was diagnosed PDD, pervasive developmental disorder, when I was 17, which is awesome.
Yeah, you got all the diseases in the world we know.
I know they're trying to say that I have Munchausen when I really do
Munchausen.
No, I don't have that shit.
I think
I
you
don't
do.
have that shit.
Munchausen is like.
No, do you know that?
Yeah.
I got my tonsils out when I was 2, and all these studies show that leads to PTSD in 50% of the people who have their tonsils out, and they're not sure if it's from like the inflammation or like if it's like connected to the brain or like what's causing it or the actual like experience
I
of like.
had my tonsils out when I was 6.5, and yeah, I did suffer from so-called PTSD that I never truly experienced in the form of sadness. Like she told me an underlying form of some PTSD.
Have you did therapy for
Yeah,
that?
no. Yeah, there's studies that are showing this at like 50% if you have your tonsils out. PTSD. Crazy. And it's my earliest memory is getting my tonsils out. And I just felt like they lied to me.
Yeah, they lied to me too, and I almost died.
Yeah.
Dosed me up with like an adult dosage of anesthesia. I never got up for a while.
Like you were 6 years old?
I was 6 years old.
And that's your first memory? That's pretty late, actually.
Of, oh, you mean like, no, of like
Something
the
bad to me.
hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, something bad.
John, why are you quiet? I don't trust you when you're quiet.
This is weird. Guys, probably recording him.
Definitely recording. There's no question. Well, if it makes you happy and if you listen to the recording, which I know you don't, I'm gonna go to the library soon, John. Hello? I'll bring some books for you.
God, I should never read. It better be rude.
Yeah, really. Some pretty books.
Oh, I was trying.
I mean, if you knew German, there are really good German poems.
My sister lives in Berlin, and she's married to a German guy. Yeah, she's been living there for years.
Yeah, I used to really like Berlin, but the more I went there, I was like, actually, this is very annoying to live here. It's like a really big city, and I don't know, to go from one place to the other place, it will take an hour.
It takes a long time. Unless like, he lived in, I lived with her for 6 months. The experience in Alexanderplatz.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh, that's a good place actually to live.
So good.
There's like central.
Yeah, it is. So lovely.
You know, my supervisor lives in Berlin now.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he loves Berlin, so he moves in it.
The nightlife is fantastic.
Yeah, he loves the nightlife and
So good. I think I should go this summer.
So where did you guys start another room yesterday?
Yeah, we love.
Oh, okay. I stayed in here because I went to sleep with Illumi and our homegirl.
I couldn't. I just couldn't.
No.
I mean, and no, yeah, we went to Andrews actually, and that's where we completely took over. Poor thing.
yeah, you did.
Abby was so. Oh my God.
I can't stand that woman. I don't know why. Like, I mean, she's not a bad woman or something. It's just pretty myself. Like,
Can't go to those rooms anymore. Bob keeps putting me in the audience. I don't want to lose my points, so I'm not going in that room anymore.
So it was. We went in there, and
Fuck those people.
Rashad came, Dr. Z came, and they basically discussed Ilumi's argument there for hours. He could have easily done that in this room if he was still patient, I guess.
actually, Lumi's a sweet person, but he's just
Yeah.
always high. Yeah, that's the issue with him.
I mean, the argument is okay. So he sort of laid it out. I think he showed the difference in the hypostatic union with the two wills, which everyone knows. But he was like, it's the logical, the LPT. And then I said, bro, I know all of this. It's like Rashada. And then Mahdi came, and then the whole question of why wasn't there a female prophet is what I asked, right? In the 124,000 prophets who are men. And Dr. Z's response was, as a self-made professional woman, and she'll tell you herself if you ask her. What did she say? Women
I don't know. When she talks, I don't listen. My brain shuts down.
She was interesting. Because
with you because you were working during your period or something.
No, yeah. Just say it's very hard for women to work during that period. And women, I don't know, think about how it's so much responsibility, etc. Like, and that prophets have to endure a lot of hardship. I'm like, bro, are you serious? You think women cannot endure hardship?
Megatron, more like
You
Megatron.
come out a freaking baby, bro.
His name's Megatron, but it should be Megatron. Because he's gay.
He's not. So I was like, just accept that Abraham is patriarchal. And if I asked Andrew, he would tell me that it's patriarchal. And
Was she for or against? I think she was for that, right? But
she was for it, but she's saying it's women and men are equal in Islam. In a very
no, they are not.
They're not. And then she's saying like I was like at least give us some
What was her argument for that? Like, I would like to know, but I can't stand her talking, so.
Very sweet though.
I know she's sweet, I'm sorry.
But she's like it's just he argues like that.
She's a sweet girl, I agree.
Yeah, she's really sweet. It's just I don't know. It's just too motivated. I think it's too biased, and it's fine. I got upset because like if some chick who like whatever since needs bonbons and watches freaking Spanish soap operas would have like answered it the way she was answering, I would say okay, she's a self-made freaking professional, a sole caretaker of her child, like living in LA and freaking living the life because he made it. So why would you like you would have want to have you would know what success is to want to have like say a female prophet. At least give it like a historical reference and say that at the time this would have been the best way to govern a society because it was that, right? If you want the message out or whatever, if the messenger wanted his message out, he wouldn't come to. It was not a hill to die on. The message was important to spread, right? Yeah, and learn by I don't know spiritually or with piety. Let that be an example. The prophet doesn't hold a gender, he holds like a principle. Then these are good answers instead of women are weak, women are this. You don't know how hard it is to be a prophet, bro. You've never been one, so how do you know what it is to be a prophet?
Well, you can't have any inheritance.
I haven't had a
Wait, are there female prophets in Christianity?
No, Abraham is a patriarchal. It's a very male oriented.
The woman, the prophetess in the temple who picked up this and said, she prophesied something. Then in the Old Testament we have prophets, prophetesses.
Worship prophet means differently, I think, in the Islamic paradigm.
I don't know.
It's not just someone who prophesies.
In Islamic paradigm, it's more like a dictator king.
Yeah, king.
Yeah,
Statesman,
dictator
right?
king. Yeah, this is more like
Yeah,
a political.
so it's a different. Okay, even if it's whatever the worst, it's still a different job.
You have the same situation even in the Tanakh with Deborah, because the kings of Israel weren't doing the job, and so a woman had to take over.
Oh, so, wow. Thank you for sharing. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Just because you have the gift of prophecy and prophesize, that doesn't mean
doesn't make you a prophet. Exactly that.
That does make you a prophet. Yeah.
Then what makes you a prophet? Then what makes one a prophet?
That's in the word. That's not how that works. Because Paul
Well, I agree.
It is
how prophesying. Yeah.
But
Yeah, he's right.
Prophets. Rhetorically, meaning like not everyone's prophets.
It doesn't matter. The king should prophesy.
So you don't agree with Paul?
But Paul is talking to the people in the church.
CM.
Prophesize.
Doesn't matter as long as you prophesy something.
It could be a false prophet. Tough him out. No, but he's talking about people who prophesize. He says, are all of them perfectly?
Yeah, not all people. Not everyone is a prophet.
But he's
Everyone's
saying,
a teacher.
he's saying that not everyone,
like
yes, he is.
he's not saying that.
Yes, he
He's
is.
not saying what you
Yes,
said.
he is.
He's not saying. He's
Yes,
not saying
he is.
you guys got prophecies, but that doesn't mean you're not a
Yes,
prophet.
it is. That's exactly what he's saying.
No, it's not. What are you reading? What's the verse?
1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 29.
Hello?
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 Oh, Smilo. I don't know. I have a
Timothy.
call sign.
Timothy.
Huh?
You guys see a call sign over my PTR? I'm not on any call, but it just appeared. Just like that.
It stays on like that.
Yeah, I saw that.
But I'm not on any call and I haven't received a call.
Yeah, it's okay. That's how freaking Clubhouse is. Once you've received a call, it just keeps that on. They need to change that. Are you really not on the call motion?
No, I'm not.
1 Corinthians what?
12:29. Hello? Hello? So a prophet is like a specific.
Even a false prophet prophesizes, right? Would technically be a prophet.
No, a prophet is a specific role and function within the church.
Okay. Can you expand on?
Pardon me, I just want to confirm my AI summary agent just reported me that this is a discussion about autism, PDD, and tonsil removal.
You recorded that, didn't you?
No, we're talking about racism.
Okay, so wait. No, I'm still trying to get the verse. But when it's saying that are all apostles, are all prophets, are all teachers, do all do miracles, all work miracles? So basically what you're saying is, oh yeah, you could heal people, doesn't mean you're a miracle worker. You can teach people, doesn't mean you're a teacher. What the fuck kind of shit is that? That makes no sense.
Yeah, it is just saying all members in the church don't have the same role. All of them have different
Exactly.
roles. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody has different roles. Not everybody's gonna have all these gifts.
Yeah.
But you can't say somebody is a miracle. Oh, he does miracles, but hey, he's not a miracle worker. He's just a specific kind of miracle. Like that doesn't make sense.
Because you don't understand how language works.
I don't understand how language works.
You don't understand how language
A
works.
martyr is one who murders. A thief is the one who steals. But all of a sudden, when it comes to the word prophecy or prophesy or prophet, that doesn't have any correlation.
Hold on. The individuals called
Let's
by
take
God
it.
to deliver
Robin Hood is
messages.
it? Robin Hood was a thief?
No, it was a
Like
hoodie.
that.
It was a hoodie.
Oh, he's right. Like they deliver a message. They also hold people accountable. They guide. I'm just reading it out in school.
Who's right?
They may not be like a prophet, like a major prophet or some like, see like in. I mean, you're technically.
Yeah, that's a primary.
No, you're not.
Okay.
Okay, let Pimas define what a prophet is. Tell us, teach us.
It's just, I told you, it's a specific role within the church that involves like a ministry. It's a function within the church. Whereas anyone can prophesy, right? A prophecy is a spiritual gift, like speaking.
Wait, you don't apparently understand how language works because it's not prophecy, it's prophesize or prophecy or prophesy. Hello? Prophesy. It's not prophecy, it's prophesy.
Go back to Africa.
I'm just saying all communication on Clubhouse is generally ad hominem projection. So when you say that Smiler doesn't understand how language works, that's really you admitting internally that you don't understand how language works. Just want to clarify.
Get this guy a watermelon.
Well, as a matter of fact, I've got a delicious watermelon sitting in my refrigerator right now that I will soon cut apart and dice it and enjoy it. But that still basically means that this gathering here, where we are discussing the Bible, Quran, and all the prophets, clearly people have not come to the conclusion on how to best use their time. You would think that if this information was so valuable, it might help us determine what's the best usage of our time. And I don't think these clubhouse rooms are being very productive nowadays. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, man. But he's not complaining much.
It's encouraging people to leave.
Don't think he's complaining.
I think all the Muslims should actually go back to becoming pagans, pre-Islam.
He was passive. He's being passive. He's passive.
Maybe he should make it more productive.
He's passive aggressive. He's trying to insult us passive
I'd
aggressive.
like to actually just contribute to the room instead of continuing to mock you. What meaning does Mecca have for Muslims? That's the question. What meaning? These are all new room titles that Barth can use, by the way. What meaning does Mecca have for Muslims? Mecca, a caravan city on the road from Yemen to Syria in pre-Islamic Arabia, was the center of religious associations of pagan Arabians, as well as a center of its commercial activity. Mecca is important to the Muslims nowadays because of its Kaaba, the house of Abraham. Muhammad's tomb is in Medina, not in Mecca. The pilgrimage to Mecca incorporates many pre-Islamic traditions. It takes place around the day commemorating the biblical sacrifice of Abraham. After the Kaaba and other sacred places, all commemorating biblical and Islamic incidents are visited by the pilgrim. In a religion that ambitiously looked towards universality, an annual meeting followers had great social, political, and economic advantages. The exclusion of non-Muslims from Mecca is relatively recent. During the time of Muhammad himself, many non-Muslims and non-Arabs lived in Mecca, and there was no objection to their living there. Yeah, right. Essentially, there is nothing in Islam that prevents non-Muslims from living anywhere, including Mecca. The restriction was imposed when several non-Muslims tried to defile, destroy, or rob some of the Muslim holy places there. Oh, I see. Isn't it interesting that just reading the first thing from this Dr. Muhammad El Zayat, this little book that I bought called Questions to a Muslim Exposition of Islam. We've already proven in this room with Barth that many of the shit that I just read was not true. So the Muslims consistently put forth a false doctrine. Isn't that interesting?
Right.
Takia.
Yeah, Takia. Could you please read my tarot card if you don't mind?
Okay, pick a number 1 through 64. You want 33?
If it's the same tarot card, I know which one it is. Because you read it for me.
Deception.
So if you guys didn't know, right, about Mecca, bless you. So Mecca, if you look at where it's located, right? So this used to be that actual place that they had this little structure thing was a Christian shrine, and there's a tribe of Jews in Yemen, and I think that there was a time, you know, the story where they come in with the elephants and stuff, like they say that they all right. So that story is actually the same story, but from a past thing. So the reason why they say there was idols there, that wasn't really idols. Those things were how would they say that? You know, when you leave something at a shrine.
Yeah.
Wasn't the one we were talking about? I don't know. What is up with people? They just. It's just like I invite them up, but they gotta speak. They gotta start talking as soon as they come up.
No, just don't mix it up for your theological
You weren't even letting me finish. You didn't even let me finish. Forget it, bro. I don't even want to finish this one. Forget it. No, I wanted to finish the story. You're scared to let me finish this. You're scared for me to educate you as you want me to do. No, because you cut me off. Because you just cut me off. Cut me off. So I think you knew where I was going. Because I think you know this about where it is, and you just didn't want me to say it. No, it's all good. No, it's all good. It's all good, bro.
Can we kick this guy?
Yeah, see how evil I never listen to everybody how evil they are. That he has to say stuff like that. He doesn't realize the things he says. He doesn't care.
Just send them to the audience and finish your thing.
run away from the Muslim.
No, what I want to do is I just want to keep him up here as possible so he can embarrass his own person.
It's not embarrassing.
No point.
You listen like that.
No point of my
Because I can't do the same with Christianity, you know? I can't theologically masturbate about Christianity.
We're not solving.
Oh, really?
Listen, only one person keeps bringing up masturbation. Phoenix, only one person keeps bringing up masturbation, and that's you, Phoenix. And I just want to say that Muhammad was a pedophile. He was a homosexual. And it's all historical. You can't actually defile that poor little girl's name anymore. That branch of Islam that the Shia have taken. Let's actually just read from a book, everybody, instead of engaging in this M word with Phoenix. It's called The Book Club. This was number 33. It's called Deception. This was Naga's tarot card. Something is making love flee. In fact, love is withdrawing, turning towards itself in order to protect itself. It cannot do otherwise. In short, you will be exhausted, and you will not even see the shadow of your love.
No, Nargis, really, he said that Sufism is terrorism.
Wow. is really at least feel ashamed of yourselves instead of like being academic and objective. Bloody. You get-
Like he inspired the music that
Yeah, I
he's
like
playing,
that.
but at the same time he's calling Sufis like terrorists.
Yeah, because it's a jahil, murakkab.
It says here that the Sufi or Muslim mystics do not form an Islamic sect. A Sufi wants to remain in the world and serve humanity while being above worldliness. Some Sufis believe that through endeavor and sublimation of human instincts, they may reach a sort of union with their creator. The Muslim Sufi literature is a very rich one. In Persian, Arabic, and Urdu, some of the Sufis have contributed some of the world's masterpieces of literature.
Ein Sof means hardly anything at all.
He thinks that he's
So the academic about it.
Move down environments kind of sounds
How
good.
embarrassing it looks.
It's got like a mini voice going on.
They're embarrassed themselves, Phoenix.
Look at Migzed, the Ein Sof is right behind him, the limitless light filling his Kelly pot Nona. Migzed is the 10 Sephiroth, behind him stands the Ein Sof.
You're obsessed.
Hardly anything.
Migzed is just so used to being awash in the light of Hashem, that beautiful Ein Sof that gives Migzed his unlimited financial bankruptcy, debt resolution, creation solutions.
So we also see qualities.
What would you say, do you think, is the best way to actually study the Kabbalah correctly?
Well, there are things called books, Migzed. Maybe you've heard of these wonderful innovations in human technology called books. That would be a great place to start studying Kabbalah, in the books. Hello?
In a particular instance of someone studying the deep esoteric Jewish mysticism and becoming a heretic. His name was Acher, or
Acher.
his birth name was Elisha ben Vuya. He is quoted in Pirkei Avos. He was up there with the Tanaim, but by the time of the Gemara, he was noted as a heretic, and all abandoned him except for one student named Rabbi Meir.
yeah. Like there's someone called Baal Shem Tov. I read about him. Hasidism is actually mystical more than.
Hasidists, right? That'd be another good way. Those are definitely experts that were scholars in the field, studied it. But that's not necessarily like the origin, right? When's the first time we have any published Kabbalah works? You're gonna look in Spain.
Actually, it's the Tablet of Isis. That's the first Kabbalistic item. A 5x10 copper bust.
Or Persian mysticism, right? Because
It's all solipsism.
all of these different regions, it picks up whichever mysticisms happen to be there. Like even like take it as a, for instance, as something people won't argue with, that in the Bible it prohibits Molech as a particular practice. Molech was pagan deity of that region. That was something that Jews were familiar with in that era. Later, communities are these types are bad. Don't be like Molech. That's like a bad approach. They hadn't yet interacted with the far north,
That's
far south.
There was trade, there was attraction.
It was great. You were right. It was a highway. It had access to the area. They also had superstitions and prohibitions about gaining too much of a foothold from some other community, right? Like the Sunnis tribe traveling through, and we had issues about them preaching their even religious interpretations in the land of Israel. They settled. Rome was like just sort of passing the buck along, being Roman, and liking a lot of the Greek ideas as they kind of soured and fractured until Rome fell. And then people were mostly trying to revitalize what had they lost from this utopian Greek romantic period. And then they tried to build the modern age, which is built mostly on Greek and Roman principles.
Can you just say that thing that Megatron into the Chaucer in the beginning? How do I say that word? That looks like Bereshit.
Bereshit? Or Bereshit? Sound like an Israeli?
Well, that's something like I could say, because I was gonna say Bereshit, but.
Yeah, you can say Bereshit.
Okay, cool.
So most mysticism around the world would, although different in geography, although different in like the traditional
But they pick
aspects
things up as they go, right? The stories
Yeah,
continue.
correct.
Like Persia, right?
Yeah.
The Jews didn't know of Persia when they were in Egypt. Persia was there. They didn't know about it.
They didn't know of it.
They didn't know about Persia when David was conquering the land, when Joshua was destroying all of the Canaanites, when Saul and David were fighting over each other. They didn't care about the Persians. They did actually show up in some of the writings. At that point, they had interacted with them, but they didn't have a clear way of dealing with them until after the destruction of the first temple and the publishing of the Megillah. Then the Jews had established their principles of what the Persians are like, how we have dealt with them, and what we think of them. They never dealt with the Japanese. There is no firm Jewish position on the Japanese. They come and they go, and we stick to our old principles for anyone who comes and goes in our land.
So mysticism has like common truth principles, right? That no matter what tradition you follow, and no matter what religion you call it, and even though there might not have been any interaction between like
Have you ever heard of the philosophists, I think they called themselves?
who the Illuminists.
They were like these people, a lot of Brits were into this club, a lot of explorers of the New World.
What were they called?
Theosophy, Theosophists, I believe.
Okay.
And I think their position was that all religions and all secret truths came from a secret, ancient, most ancient culture of which he considered himself a part, right? So he wanted to incorporate all of them from the oldest, most authentic origin of them all. And he wanted to explore the world. Many of these guys, they were like Explorer Club. They would explore deep, far-reaching corners of the earth to show that the same narrative had been given from an ancient proto-religion that we were all members of.
That's correct.
I love that move, right?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
And then they also like incorporate all the mysticism, right? Because none of that is taboo. That's all just different interpretations of this singular ancient
I mean,
true.
mysticism would be like the common. This is why I hold to it.
And if you think like the religion of like the Theosophists, it incorporates a convergence of all human understanding, past, present, and future. And that's like kind of a mission that a lot of people can get behind.
Yeah,
I don't think it's unavoidable. I think that is just.
Yeah, Migzad, is Muslims call it Islam, Migzad?
Mysticism is the feminine side of things, I think.
You're like your little bitch.
Damn. Migzad's bringing out the power. Migzad's got that Kabbalistic power, that courtroom demeanor. Migzad, when was the last time you were in court and said to the opposing counsel, "You little bitch"?
I was just in court earlier
So
today.
you guys know the studies they did on mystics around the world, right? So we had a psychologist in one of these rooms called The Seeker's Mind, and she was like explaining, and we had the room freaking for 3 sessions. Like he has it once every week, but this was the only topic like that went on for 3 consecutive sessions, where like she was explaining how a mystic is born, is not made, right? You must sort of have it within your psyche to even be attracted to such a thing, as though like you're just naturally doing it. It so happens that within the study they did for mystics around the world, that never knew of each other, came from traditions where in like the basic principles differed. Their particulars and practices were extremely different too, and etc. etc. All these mystics have reported very, very similar experiences, right, as an end result to all their like, spiritual practices
I think-
within the tradition. So,
I think that that humans have like a lot of ways to experience things. I don't only limit myself to the analytical, although like in conversations, I think it's useful. And in the case of mystics, I think like approaching from like a rudimentary, quasi-materialist perspective assists in seeing exactly what the benefit is there that everyone would agree with, right? If we concede the existence of placebo effects, then we would concede to the existence of shaman and experts in the specific placebo effects that are most effective on humans. Like there's a historic empirical answer on what that would be, even if we say that there is no meaning behind what they're actually expressing. So like, I think it's a weird. I think people do it to like keep themselves sane, to like not think about the mysticism. Like there's not as much for the mind to grapple with there. You know, it's more of like an experiential thing.
That's not the big takeaway. The big takeaway of mysticism. Point of order, moderator. I know you just love to ramble. The big takeaway is that to be a part of any major world organized religion and donate 10% to some fucking guy in a dress is insane. You should just start your own cult called the Book Club.
Yeah,
just fucking read a book.
Families that need food.
No. What I'm saying is you're stupid if you give your money up.
Think about
Just start your own thing.
God is correct.
Hello?
Feed the hungry when I could think about how many angels dance on the head of pin, you psychopath.
Oh, I didn't say that. But what I'm just saying is the big takeaway is if you actually contribute your money to an organization which is not your own organization or your own nonprofit, you're not very mystical. You fail to actually realize that it's talking about you in all these books and your experience. You should try to read a book and then you can experience the whole story and the script and the program through yourself, through your own, first person perspective, like a video game. That would make it real fun. If you just participate in somebody else's video game, that's boring. Hello?
Gosh. Wait, no, dude, 1 second. I have to enlighten you because I've discovered your new purpose in life. You are a weird kind of self-aware narcissist that hates himself because of like the weird kind of loop you've put your own head into. I think you need to create an AI that will draft a novelized version of your own life that you can read and others and publish and then keep writing and reiterating forever. Just telling yourself and the world your own story eternally. Then
just be careful, Mixed. I'm already doing that because we're live on YouTube and you just projected that you're a narcissist yourself. How dare you ad hominem project onto the universe? You're pathetic.
I'm giving it. I'm cursing your mind with a blessing from God that you will construct this and consume the rest of your life reading a story about yourself.
Right.
Well, now that we're getting back into what is the soul, do we live in the soul or does the soul live in us? Hello? I guess what I'm trying to say is, we were talking about the secret ancient source wisdom code that all of these religions are supposedly deriving from. It's actually just an everything bagel. And right now, in my toaster, I have an everything bagel ready to come out and I'm going to slather it with cream cheese. That to me would be basically a metaphor for the Kabbalah, meaning it's everything with something extra. Hello?
Hello? Is everyone done masturbating?
No, I think. Oh, Eitan is here. Eitan, how are you doing? What's going on? Are you studying Kabbalah in Tel Aviv? Are you living in a sheltered nut to butt? How's it going, Dr. Eitan? Hello? Hello? The landscapers.
Nobody called me? What up, people?
Dr. Eitan, what new discoveries have you made? What new learnings have you learned?
Every day I learn something. Every day is a learning day. What are you? Baruch Hashem. Everybody sounds chipper today. Well, the subject kind of grabbed me here. This gray shade. Did we talk about it, or is it business now? Or anything exciting?
Oh, question.
Through language, of course, through the lens of the Messiah being the first intellect.
All right.
And all things were created through his knowledge, being the closest to God. So we see this as the first cause, first of creation. Yeah, we're using that kind of language. How do you feel about that? Is that very Kabbalists?
Sounds legit to me. I mean, I don't have any problems with it. You say you're reading it as a Christian in Hebrew.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Well, I didn't know you know Hebrew. I mean, you do know Hebrew.
Nothing to brag about.
There's some really cool stuff they did with the Hebrew, with the Kabbalistic stuff. They switched like letters around and added the value of stuff, and it comes out like the Hebrew, the first I think the first 7 sentences come up with 7 words. So it's all that stuff that they do.
We have 10. It's 10 sentences, and it's the names of the first 10, right?
Something of that. Yeah. What's interesting is, people looking for apologetic or exegetical find one thing. The literary scholars are going to find other things there, right? Because the literary scholars are interested in like the sociological value of what's written in there. What were they doing? What was the political statement that they were making, right? So one of the things that sticks out, because they call it a polemic against the other religions that they evolved from in the region, right? You there?
Yeah.
Okay, so what does it say? That God created the heavens and the earth and yada? And then it goes on, and his spirit hovered over the abyss, right? Okay, now the interesting thing there is, there's a scholar by the name of Kosuto, a very famous scholar, and he says, okay, in Hebrew, the word for abyss sounds very much like one of the names of the Mesopotamian gods. And there was like a literary hint there to say, we created your gods. So את השמיים ואת הארץ, והארץ הייתה תוהו, וכאלוהים מרחמת על פני תהום. So they're saying Tehom is a nod, if you will, to Tiamat. That makes any sense.
No, go into.
Yeah, so Tiamat
You know what's
was
up? If
the
something's
wife of
free,
one of the
people just can't resist it. Doesn't matter what it is.
Wow, is
Old
that
Testament
picture?
is like rebelling against. Even though, literary people will tell you that they took many of the ideas, right? They took the flood, they took the wrestling with God bit, they took a lot of ideas from the Mesopotamian culture. But that was one of the things they pointed out. So when you read it in the Hebrew, and especially if you're reading it like, I don't know, during the time where this would have been relevant, you would have picked up on that, and maybe today, readers in a different language, like readers in Hebrew, look at the background on it, will miss out on that. So that's a little bit of Mesopotamia. Originally, it was the snake in the story. That was the snake, okay? And that was also some scholars point out. In other religions, one of them may have worshipped the snake. Snake may have been part of their deities. And this was to show that you can't trust these people. That's what you mentioned, these deities. One more thing that I was going to bring up, which just coming here from the moment. Oh, you remember the animal that it says God created everything? And it was over in the Hebrew called the Tanim. And it was like a whale, right? You can't see it anymore, right?
Qu'il espérait comme vous.
Anybody?
Roi, on lui dit.
Well, they say that was also saying that they created other gods. One more thing is God is exclusive. Bereshit is the Elohim God. That's the God that creates things. And as opposed to the other God who's ritualistic and judgmental. And some of the commentators will say that the hip there is when you say Elohim, the aleph in the beginning, the letter of the word, and the last letter is M, sound Mem, which aleph and Mem make mother. So mother creates things. And why that there are two names for God, one that you can pronounce and one you can't pronounce. One would be like calling him dad, calling him by his function, and the other one would be calling him by his personal name. So that's all in Genesis that I can speak of at the moment. So anyone want to respond to any of that?
I think there's a lot of information there. I'm just taking all that stuff in.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. I can see how it just keeps going, right? So one rabbit trail to the next.
Oh sure. Yeah. And it's cool that we have someone from a Jewish background, someone from a Christian background, fills up all the pieces of the puzzle. Get like a wider perspective on it. Like I was surprised. Someone said the first two letters in Genesis in Hebrew, Breshit, right, is Bet Resh, which means son. So what they're saying is that all of this is about the son, right? About Jesus. That would be something exegetical in the favor of Christians. But that's it's just a point, an opinion or whatever. Bereshit. Now, if you take Bereshit, the word Genesis, which is the first word, right? You split that in two. You have bara, which means created, sheet. In Aramaic, sheet means in six. So it means it's a hint towards creating in 6 days. And then there's another word that goes Bereshit bara with et ha'amayim, et ha'aretz. If you move a letter over, it's like saying Ata Shamayim v'Ata Haaretz. You are the heavens and you are the earth. Assuming it sounds pantheistic in a way, doesn't it?
we're always going to dabble in that. It's always going to be in line.
No. I'm eating possibly the worst total sandwich I've ever had.
Really?
Well, across from my work, at 7:30 at the Cinematheque, they have like their cafe has everything at half off. So this little tuna sandwich and a coffee costs me 18 shekels. And in American dollars, that would be, how much would that be, like $5, I think?
Oh, I don't know.
It would be something around like 4 or 5. I don't know if that's considered good in American prices. But, fucking hungry, man. Sorry about that. Tuna.
Are you going down there? You want to grab some of those?
But, you know, with Genesis, you can go on and on. You can go on and on and on about Genesis. Genesis is loaded.
Oh, yeah, it is. Loaded. So loaded.
I always, growing up, I always liked the way the rest of the world called these books, like the Greek, you know, like Genesis as opposed to.
There could be 3 of the Gospels that quote this. So he's convinced that this is all coming to pass soon. The problem is it didn't come to pass. So when it didn't come to pass, people later on, years and years later on, have to find interpretations to make this work. Because on its face, it doesn't. Now, look, James, I'll read the thing.
I have a question for you though, because now
You can. I'm just going to reply to James quickly. You can ask your question. That's fine. Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law? Jesus replied, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment, and the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these 2 commandments. It doesn't say they'll be fulfilled. It just says it will hang on these 2 commandments, and that is the NIV. Go on, what's your question?
for Christians, and so would you say like Paul is contradicting Christ there?
I think Paul contradicts Christ a lot.
Yeah, but the problem with replies, right, about contradictions is I think like you're not being charitable, right? Because I don't do that with Muslims, by the way. Like I don't go around saying all the Quran contradicts. So no, but not about contradict. No.
Can I just
Like,
off the knee?
no,
Can I just put off that the knee is right? I don't think any of it's true. And I also don't get you to listen to me when I point out that there's a problem, right? I don't expect that. So you're right when you say, like, bring up these contradictions as sort of useless. The idea is put in your head, right? You've got a choice. You can choose here. You can say, well, I'm sure there is a way in which I can figure out how to make everybody already does. Christians do this constantly. Muslims do it as well, and Jane is right, you were bringing that up. I personally don't care. That's not why I'm pointing out there's a problem in your view. My hope is that this sort of brainworm digs at you, and rather than be kind of the apologist that tries to force this into reality, tries to harmonize it, you're honest with yourself and you go, wait a minute, there is a problem. And there are Christians that do that, by the way. We talk to them, we know them. There's a problem here. Just admit there's a fucking problem.
yeah, but I mean, like I still don't like. I mean, the thing is like, but I mean, the only reason why I was engaging with you guys because you were saying, right, that I was applying a different standard when criticizing Islam, right? That was the point I was having a contention with. And what, yeah, and the standard that I was applying, right, and Muslims can absolutely ignore that standard, right, which is that, like, if I'm talking to a Sunni classical traditional Muslim, right, who takes Islamic jurisprudence, Islamic hadith, right, Islamic seerah, right, seriously, right, then I criticize based on those, right? And me as an Orthodox Christian, I take, for example, patristics very seriously. So I would also make him abide by that principle by criticizing my interpretations of the text through the lens of patristics, right? And from there, I'm not really applying any standard, right? It is the same standard that I'm applying when I'm criticizing Islam as I'm applying.
Okay, it's the same reasoning. It's the same dishonesty. It's just yours has been going longer. Therefore, you think it's legitimate. I don't understand that. You're just saying they've been longer. They've been there longer.
Look, she's right. She's right, and you know it.
Between Christian scholars and and Muslim scholars, right? The consensus of Christian scholars is saying do not do X, right? The consensus of Muslim scholars say do X, right? Then I'm just pointing that out according to that standard, right?
Legitimate for a Muslim to use the same logical inferences that you're using to be, as I view it, dishonestly interpreting the scripture to come to a conclusion that child marriage isn't okay, and that's not really what it means, even though they disagree with the scholars. Just because more people in your religion figured it out earlier that it's a problem, and you should probably not follow that, I don't understand why their logical inferences are.
If I'm talking to a liberal Muslim, right, who doesn't accept like the consensus or the early Muslim views, like the early Muslim scholars and their views about these situations, fine. I don't really have conversations with liberal Muslims. The same thing, like I don't think people should have conversations with liberal Christians because they don't really have standards, right? But if I'm talking to someone, right, who claims to follow classical Islamic jurisprudence, right, then from there I'm just going to point out that the consensus that are found within the Islamic sciences when it comes to these issues. Right?
You see, Severin, the reason why you don't have conversation. See, Severin, you're so full of shit. You slip that in there and you say, I won't have conversations with liberal Muslims in the same way I won't have conversations with liberal Christians. Because you're the most austere, far right Christian there is, right, Severin? You are so full of yourself and your big ego with your supreme Christianity. It's sickening. Go look in the mirror, read a book, and just shut up about your supremacy. It's annoying, Severin. You know, if you really understood Christ, you wouldn't act this way. You wouldn't talk this way. You'd probably just be in meditation and peace, praying or reading a book or doing something good instead of shitting down the throat of other people. It's pathetic.
Just a universe, moderation. Go back and forth with him and have a conversation.
Yeah, I think I'm
just like yell at him. That's another.
No, he doesn't want to have conversations with anybody unless they're far right because he is far right. Did you hear what he said? So I don't think I can have a conversation with him because he doesn't have conversations with people that he deems that could possibly be on the left.
How am I far right? Like how am I far? I actually more to the left than to the right.
Oh, I see.
It's just crazy. Just ruin the conversation that we're having.
Oh, I ruined their conversation. Oh.
Darth Dawkins video, or rather the Tom Rabbit video with Darth Dawkins. Is that you?
I've been featured on a few Tom Rabbit videos with Darth Dawkins.
That's funny. You're a micro celebrity then.
Anyway,
if you send me $10, I'll send you an autograph.
A micro celebrity.
You should do that.
Go ahead,
No, you should send in $10 and get an autograph. That'd be cool.
I don't.
Nee, maar daar look, I'd get an autograph from James. That'd be nice. I don't know where we were. Where were we?
Perfect for everything, but I think James is actually going to disagree with the principle that James can have different. Like, I think James doesn't really care about the consensus, which is fine. Everyone to his own, right?
I don't know if he's neutral politically, but he knows his stuff. He's probably the most knowledgeable on this stuff. You know Caleb?
You could have said Rabbi Randall McDicker.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we talk all the time. Well, in here, yeah.
He knows.
So,
he has a vast knowledge.
I don't. That's the thing, right? So, when someone like myself is reading from it, right? And I think
Julian.
there's this guy that I like to.
Julian.
I've heard his own song. He's a Russian Orthodox. And he wrote a lot of books on early, like first and second temple Judaism, and the beginning of Christianity, and that kind of like that movement that started, and these understandings, and he goes over to powers, and he explains how this it couldn't be the case, and how Christians were reading. Yeah, Christian. Yeah, good.
I'm gonna have to leave, but you guys are gonna be around another half hour.
Yeah.
Really sorry about having fun here, but
No, it's all good.
All right, we'll get back later. Bye.
All right.
Yeah, if you guys need me to handle these different religions or belief systems, let me know.
What are you gonna help with, Rabbi? You need a different name, bro.
Go back to.
Yeah, you should try to be, yourself, Rabbi, instead of, forcing people to call you Rabbi, because what you're really doing is insulting teachers who go by the name Rabbi when you yourself are just a comedian. You're just a comedian. You're funny, but you're not a teacher. You don't actually teach anybody anything other than gaslighting people to hopefully they'll realize, why am I getting so upset over this annoying person on a conference call app called that, he fucks around and calls himself a rabbi, and he's only doing it out of an homage to Rabbi Randy McDickerson, who himself is a degenerate, vulgar, profane, horrible human being. But I'll tell you, he's one of the most despicable, obnoxious, pretentious, and ludicrous people I've ever heard on this app. Rabbi Randy McDickerson, founder of the Kosher Shekel Fund. Hello?
He's a good man. And I don't force anyone to call me Rabbi. They do it because they want to.
So I can just call you. All right. Well, I'm just gonna call you Fart Breath from now on. So what are you doing today, Fart Breath? Are you gonna be on Clubhouse all day, just like making snide little commentary, funny little one-liners? Hello? Hello? All day, every day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 30 days a month, every single day. I used to have a family, they say. Now I just talk all the time on Clubhouse, 40 hours a week at a minimum. It's never enough. I gotta create my dopamine somehow, some way. Isn't it, gang? Because Andrew's been up on a 72-hour bender. He's probably sleeping for 20 hours.
Is he on that?
He's got to be. Well, we know you are, and you're projecting, but, he's got to be.
I know what it's like to be on that. That's why I'm saying, one of the same kind flock together is that he just doesn't, he doesn't He doesn't hit tunes to my beat. That makes any sense.
You know what's so amazing is if you see if I had access to meth, do you know what I would do with it? I would read a bunch of books on camera and use my brain to improve my brain to eliminate all the unnecessary things in my life which are wasting my time. That's intelligence. Hello? Here we go, motherfucker.
Tiring.
Here we go, motherfucker.
You gotta do more. You gotta do more interesting shit. This is fucking annoying. Every day the same shit. You guys are wasting your time. Wasting your time. Wasting your time. Bro, I'm at fucking work. Shut the fuck up.
What about the deepest parts of the day? And then the chime. Ting, ting, ting.
It's like this dude doesn't stop. How am I wasting my time? I'm at work. If not, I'd be listening to a podcast right now. Okay, or some music. I can't read because my mind has to be in what I am doing. So I can't just sit there and read. I can't be in complete solitude. I'm not a security guard.
All right, well, I'm going to read a book here and try to contribute to the room instead of complaining about the room because that's what winners do. We don't just complain, we contribute. We do.
How bad is the comic relief in Andrew's room? It's just so fake, right? It's so superficial.
It's a waste of time, really. I mean, you know, at least you got a personality, Megatron. You're not like, you know, a toy Woody from the movie.
So funny.
It's not comedy.
What about him?
He was challenged to quit meth for 1 month by a concerned friend. He succeeded, but he complained, "You showed me I'm not an addict, but I didn't get any work done. You set mathematics back a month."
So he's still an addict. I see.
Yeah, he's one of the greatest mathematicians of the 21st century.
What, the Indian guy?
Paul Erdos.
Oh, I thought you were going to mention the Indian guy from those ones. I thought he was.
He has a book of over 1,000 conjectures that he hasn't proven, but AI is proving it. It's pretty crazy stuff.
Oh, like, what's her name? Lovelace? Like her? You know who she is? You know who she is? She was also a mathematician. What do you mean similar? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No idea.
Okay, I think her name is Ava Lovelace? Something Lovelace? She was a mathematician a long time ago, before programming actually was a thing, and she actually has mathematical formulas that are for programming.
Oh yeah, from like the 1800s, before like she was using like
Correct.
the binary zeros and ones, trying to figure
Correct.
out the computer before the technology was even there to actually
Yes.
create it. That's
now
crazy.
now you understand. Yes.
Yeah, similar to this guy, Paul Erdos. He was like this bum who'd go from like he had doctorates, whatever, in mathematics, but he would go from like a different mathematician's home, and all he would ask them was a place to stay and to get some food from their place and just study math. And he like worked with like 1,000 other mathematicians all over the world, going from place to place, smoking meth.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, you know, this is the thing about substance abuse is, you know, a lot of criminals who use substances, they're a problem. But if you're a productive, nice person in society contributing in an exceptional way and you're not a problem, it's only a detriment to your health and your potential longevity of life. So the law and criminality that index, when you overlap it with polite society, drug use, and productivity, you can see how criminalizing the productive person as opposed to helping his health is really the question at hand. But there are people on this app who have admitted that they have been drug users and go around and they rob people, random people, and that type of random chaos is in many ways what terrorism is. So all I'm trying to say is, have you read a book today? Will you read a book today? Will you go to the gym? Hello?
Are you defending the use of methamphetamines?
No, I'm just talking about how chemicals and the brain and productivity and the legal system, it's all intertwined because a lot of white kids and all these people who are on meth, what they're really doing is using legalized cocaine. And they're doing it under the supposed care of a doctor. But really, if they're not causing legal problems and they're being good people, well, it's still a detriment to the health. So why can't people essentially be sober and be highly productive as if they're on the chemical?
99% pure cocaine and crack. It's the bottom quintile of the population that ruins it for everyone else.
Well, at the end of the day, nobody's living in a bubble. Like when I was in the army, you're kind of living a perfect lifestyle. Every calorie is measured, every exercise is timed. Like your whole life is completely schedulized, and you live in a secure bubble where there's no outside influence, supposedly. Uh, I'm just saying, there's like, if we were to take Megatron out of his work environment and just fly him to the Caribbean for like a 30-month stay at our luxury rehabilitation clinic and actually get him off of Clubhouse and get him off of meth, we would be able to actually show him a new way, a new life of productivity, sobriety, and happiness without the chemical additive to the brain. Because the philosophy of the Kabbalists is that there is an energy so much more powerful than the fake chemical stimulant that you're using in your plastic body. That's what the Ein Sof and the limitless light can provide an addict and a Clubhouse clown. I am complete. We are also opening a new clinic in Mexico if anybody's interested. It's next to the stem cell therapy clinic that Joe Rogan keeps touting, where you just go in there, you sit on a luxury leather couch, you get an IV put in, and you get your genetic upgrade. It's all fake. It's all a lie. Mel Gibson's father still died. Mel Gibson's dad went down there for the genetic DNA renovation work on his body. He still died. It's a scam. So what I'm trying to say is almost everything in this world is a scam. Unfortunately, we humans are so despicable, especially in the age of communication technology. It's all a scam because look at it this way. California citizens pay $50 billion a year in income taxes, but there's $50 billion worth of fraud in the Medicare Medicaid system. So how the fuck is there not a revolution? How the fuck does the government just not shut down and say, okay, we can't do this because we are actually facilitating the fraud, and therefore our whole system is completely and utterly bankrupt. And that's why I question Megatron. You go to work every day busting your ass for your 4 daughters, but you do realize you're not just working for your 4 daughters' future. You are working for an insolvent, bankrupt system. And so if you don't get involved politically, and I know you don't like talking politics and all you do is spend your time working on religion, the problem is you're going to get consumed by the political system. Because the world today, in many ways, the new religion is politics. I rest my case. Hello?
You're being anti-Semitic. Don't bring up the Jews when it...
Again, that's ad hominem projection by a retard. You are retarded. I don't know who you are or where you live or what you do with your life, but all you do is ad hominem projection every single day, all day about Jews. You're retarded. I don't know who raised you or what brain damage event occurred in your life, but Rabbi, or I should call you Fart Breath, you are one of the dumbest ad hominem projectors. You think you're funny. The joke ended months ago, but you're still here. Hello?
Why are you being anti-Semitic? Why are you making fun of rabbis?
Okay, ad hominem projector, here we go again. Did a donkey, did Muhammad or Jesus' donkey kick you in the head? Is this what happened to you? It must be exhausting.
So you're talking to people with a wealth of knowledge, intellectual, inclined people that are teachers. You're calling them fart breath. So after being anti-Semitic, that's how you conclude? Amazing.
Yep, you are definitely one of the most brain rotted out people I've met on this app.
My friend, you concluded before you even started.
Exactly. I would just encourage you to try to say one intelligent sentence, maybe from your memory, and then we can leave it at that. Okay, fart breath, sound good?
Listen, you don't become a rabbi overnight. You think somebody becomes a rabbi just by
Okay, the question, fart breath, is try to say one intelligent sentence. That's the question, or the demand. Go ahead, fart breath. Can't do it?
John is currently being investigated for fraud in the election system, and he will be considered a felon if it doesn't go his way. This is an ongoing investigation. He hasn't been acquitted. Go look at John Kitover, ChicagoFelonCriminals.com.
Well, all I gotta say is that was funny, but still not the intelligence that we're looking for. You seem to know so much about spirituality and the Bible, and obviously you can't stop talking about these people call themselves Jews. Yeah, I know, fart breath, but what we're trying to figure out is, can you actually impress us with one intelligent sentence where we will all say, "Wow, that's pretty smart." Go ahead.
Well, I think your perception is subjective for the fact that I got to the level of being an intellectual scholar, and you basically are calling me these absurd things. You're, pointing towards your playground logic.
See, what worries me sometimes is I like to accuse other people of committing ad hominem projection, but then when I say that other people are committing ad hominem, is that me committing ad hominem projection against an ad hominem projector? Is it a me problem or a you problem?
So who is the rabbi at the end of the day?
I don't know, fart breath. You tell us. Are you a green bean? I'm going to go with Dr. Megatron here.
How come you didn't respect Shabbat?
So the other thing is, I call it ad hominem filibustering, or hypnosis filibustering. Hypnosis filibustering is actually just our words endlessly talking. Like if you go to politically correct, they might just break out and talk about cereal for like 10 minutes and the different types of Cheerios. While they're supposedly talking about a very, important news topic, they will ad hominem filibuster and just go straight into Cheerios and the 10 different types of Cheerios there are. And that could waste like 10 to 15 minutes of their lives just talking about Cheerios. Hello? By the way, Mikhail, thank you. He says he's only here for Universe. And I think a lot of people actually are here for me. Even the people that I may find disagreeable. And I would just say that if I actually didn't frequent rooms and record certain people, those rooms would really die out quickly. It's like I'm just a source concentrate additive, and it's better to have me than not to have me, because if you don't have me, it's your same recipe every single time. And therefore you're going to get the same results every single time. But I can't record some of these Clubhouse rooms anymore because some of the speakers on this app are getting my accounts clipped. And I'm already at that final stage of having YouTube remove me with 3 community guideline strikes. So PP, Dr. Pepe on this app, whatever his name is, Mario or whatever the fuck his name is in Scottsdale, I cannot record him anymore. I will not record him anymore, and I thank God that my YouTube accounts are not deleted, and I will never ever set foot or waste my time recording one of those stupid brain rotted out rooms again. I will have to be a man and pick up a book and read a book, because to continue to record brain rotted people and sacrifice 5 years of YouTube work with over 100,000 videos, tens of millions of views and likes and subscribers, I can't let it all rest on the shoulders of a moron, a brain rotted out boxer named Mario Pepe in Scottsdale, Arizona. So, I am complete.
Baby boy's Pepe.
Yeah, little boy Pepe. Baby, little baby Pepe.
What do you think YouTube is going to do when they find out you're cosplaying and you're actually Pepe and you're actually Resistance? When the curtain's lifted and YouTube finds out that you're both of these characters and then some, but then you portrayed it to be somebody.
See, it's actually all based on a transcript. So you don't do anything. You actually just come here and just like say random things in response. But I actually create things. And so when you create a YouTube video, it produces a transcript and it clearly defines the speakers. And that's based on speech recognition pattern. And I know a lot of, ERFers on here love to say that they recognize patterns. And they say, well, how do you know? And they say, well, I'm a professional pattern recognizer. That's what I do for a living. I'm good at recognizing patterns and such. Hello?
Once they recognize that it's the same mannerisms that you, Universe, and Resistance, Pepe, and Mr. Anderson have, what do you think YouTube is going to do? Once they recognize that there's those same mannerisms, you might be able to change your voice, use some technology, but the mannerisms are there. You are all the same people.
You see, this conversation just triggered TikTok to delete my account. Look at that. Access removed from all channels. This conversation was too hate speech and hateful behavior. Oh, you see this? It's like, I can't believe that everything I'm doing is getting terminated and it's being labeled hate when all I'm trying to do is correct low IQ brain rotted out people. I can't believe this.
Nobody's said anything for it to trigger anything.
That's what I'm saying. It's just even just fart breathing around the topic is enough to trigger it. Fucking you're the same reason. You're exactly like Pee-Pee. You cause me problems. That's why I actually don't want to talk to you or hear your voice, because you really don't add anything to my life. You're just like putting spike proteins in my system every time I talk to you. It's horrible. You are actually a VHAP. You have a special distinction. You are a very high annoying person, and we will leave it at that.
Mr. Fartbread, I have a question for you.
Universe is talking to you.
No, I was talking to you, Mr. Fartbread.
Oh, I'm a rabbi.
But you said you can call your name anything, right? I could call you anything.
When did I say that?
Like 5 minutes ago.
I said he could have called me anything, but he chose to call me rabbi.
So yeah, Mr. Fartbread.
And the reason why I didn't respond to that was because of something.
So what kind of knife would you use to cut a brisket steak?
Preferably a steak knife. Why? What would you use?
And what about if you're going to, on a plane, if you're flying to Singapore, would you do a layover in Israel?
Depends. I don't see a problem. If it's cheaper, why not? Anybody would like to check out Israel.